the fighters I've met are pretty nice guys, you know, pretty zen usually. I mean, I'm sure there's, you know, there's a lot of this and that, but like you're like such a calm, even keeled seaman guy, you know. It's really interesting.
Balls in your face like the majority of the day, like almost every day. It's you put things in perspective. Like I can't pick short and curlies out of my mouth all the time and walk around like that angry. It's like what do I have left? My dignity's gone. I'm tired. I need some water. I want a nap. Like this.
Sure.
No, all this other stuff. Like some guy almost just tried to kill me. If you're gonna be mad or something, I'm just like, okay, like that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you kind of just have to be grounded for your own survival, I'd imagine.
Yeah. You can use aggression and anger to your benefit for sure. Mm-hmm. But to be a guy that flies off the handle, those guys, they either don't last long or they don't make it, period.
Welcome to Tank Top Talks with Matt Braunger. I'm your host, Matt Braunger. Tank tops are ridiculous, but they feel good. And the reason why they feel good is because they're ridiculous. Gerald Meerschaert III. Let's talk about your tank.
Classic 80s style stringer tank from the golden era of bodybuilding.
Yes.
Schwarzenegger. So I figured this would be the perfect attire for pretty much everything you want it tucked in, the whole deal.
It's perfect. Yeah, no. It's a dream come true. I've been saying to Max, finally somebody who looks good in a tank top is coming on the show, dude. Yeah. You are undefeated middleweight. No. UFC. You're not undefeated?
No, God, no.
Oh, okay. Okay. No. I don't do a lot of research, but I looked up your record.
Yeah. So I have 2 records in my weight class in the UFC's middleweight, which is 185. I have the most submissions and the most finishes.
Unbelievable.
I am definitely not undefeated. I have a lot of fights, and not for me, I guess.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
No, it's good. But this is how we learn. There was a thing on there that was like, 37 and amount of ties and 0 or something like that.
Oh, so the way they list it out, it'll go wins, losses, and then draws or like no contests. So like if someone has a draw, to be like 5-0-1, and that'd be 5 wins, 0 losses, and 1 like draw or no contest.
Why? I always thought losses came last. Oh, okay.
For some reason, they don't. It's actually a good point. I don't know why they do it that way.
I'm just showing my ignorance. And there's, I'm sure I have, more than a couple of fight fans who are following wins, or going, you're an idiot. Yeah,
dude. 21 ties. Like, man, that's a lot of ties.
That's a lot of ties.
That's a lot of draws.
That's a lot of draws.
I get this close, and then they just take it away from me.
And you're visiting from Wisconsin, where you're from.
Yes.
Where you live with your wife. Your lovely wife is out there. It's really nice to meet her.
Yes.
I really appreciate you coming down to the studio and doing this very silly show. Do you do, like, a lot of silly podcasts or fun things like this?
This is the first, I think, like in-person one I've done.
Oh, really?
A lot of like all Zoom ones.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them. And the interviewers are always kids that like I'm way older than.
Sure.
And they're like way better. Like, use this streaming site, use this whatever, Riverside or whatever.com, and we'll record it and we'll get your money. And I'm like, all right, dude, whatever you want to do. So this is a nice change of pace to talk to a person. Yeah. Like live.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't want to do. Yeah, if there's, I want to get everybody on this thing, like especially people that aren't really famous or whatever. There's somebody who's like, they can't leave their house. Okay, we'll do a remote. But I like it like this. I like the vibe of having the person here and looking them in the eye and talking. And I got to say, like the tank top with the jean, you look like one of the heavies from Roadhouse.
Yeah,
like it's perfect.
That's what I was going for.
It's perfect.
Yeah. I got the little mustache going and everything. I was like, if I had time to grow out a mullet, I would have. But time constraints.
I would be so honored. Give it a year. I'll be there in a year.
Yeah. Let me get the curl juice and spray that in there and get my locks going. You know what I mean?
Just fully. I'm kind of surprised there aren't more mixed martial arts guys that do a little more flair. You know what I mean? Like that, like the 80s wrestler kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, they try to do it with talking, some of them. But I don't know if it's the CTE or the lack of education, but it doesn't come off. There's a few guys that were really good at talking, obviously like the more famous ones, but like your comment before is like, I'm probably the least famous person you've had on here, so you're well on your way to having more regular everyday people. So this is a good step in the right direction.
Well, we just started chatting online because you followed me, and I'm like, who's this guy? And I followed you back, and then it was just kind of like just with the occasional DM or something. And you'd say really nice things about the comedy or whatever. Because your wife's a huge comedy fan too.
I've kind of got her into it, so I have. Okay, I've just happened to. When I first was coming up, because I'm just old enough that like tape cassettes were still a real thing.
Oh yeah.
And my dad had a couple of cassettes of I forget the name of it. It was like the redneck version of Kings of Comedy.
Oh yeah, the Blue Collar Tour.
Blue Collar Tour, yes.
Blue Collar Comedy.
We had tapes of that.
Cool.
And they had Ron White on there and all those other guys and Larry the Cable Guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I would listen to that, and I'd never heard any kind of entertainment like that before, and that got me into actual Kings of Comedy and Bernie Mac and like, so, you know, Eddie Griffin's another one where like he was one of the first real specials I watched, but I got her into it because I was like, we would drive up, we got a place up north, and I'm like, okay, we'll put on some comedy stuff, and she'd never really listened to it like that, and it would always be like you, Kyle Kinane, Chad Daniels would always be in like this little mix that would come up.
Cool.
So right away I was like, you know, as soon as I found you online, but I told her and she was like, well, who's that? Because she doesn't know the names. Sure. And I was like, the Even Ones guy. Like that's, she's like, oh. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great, man. No, I love it. Kyle and I have had a lot of people who, you know, athletes, a lot of bands and tour buses.
Yes.
They're throwing a lot of, you know, and anyway, you know, obviously fighters tour and sports teams tour, and they all, they get all that downtime, just bored. You know?
Yes, yeah. Well, and like especially for what I do, like fight week, you're traveling, you're cutting weight, so you're eating just enough. You're having like basically no carbs and no salt, and life sucks. So it's nice to bring some levity and like laugh at something and not just want to like roll over and die.
It's good. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. The fighters I've met are pretty nice guys. You know, pretty zen usually. I mean, I'm sure there's, you know, there's a lot of this and that, but like you're like such a calm, even keeled seaman guy. You know, it's really interesting.
Balls in your face like the majority of the day, like almost every day. It's you put things in perspective. Like I can't pick short and curlies out of my mouth all the time and walk around like that angry. It's like what do I have left? My dignity's gone. I'm tired. I need some water. I want a nap. Like this. Sure. No, all this other stuff. Like some guy almost just tried to kill me. If you're gonna be mad or something, I'm just like, okay, like that's fine.
Yeah. And I mean, that's. I think if you know, they always say like if you're getting too mad, you're kind of getting out of your head and stuff. Yeah. Where you kind of have to be, just have to be grounded for your own survival, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well, and even like you can use aggression and anger to your benefit for sure, but to be a guy that flies off the handle, those guys, they either don't last long or they don't make it, period.
Right.
You know what I mean? And everyone's personality is different, but for the most part, whatever antics you would see on TV, I would guess and wager that like 80 to 90% of the guys you meet them are like, you know, even people I've met, they're like, oh, like the joke around, like, you're not going to hit me, are you? And I was like, well, I wasn't, but now I might. Make stupid jokes.
Yeah. Well, they think you're kind of the whole, you know, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail kind of thing. But you know, you're a fighter, but you're so many other things too. It's not like I can't imagine any fighter worth their sand just walking around looking for beef. It's like that completely antithetical. Like, why would you waste your energy?
There's outliers for everything, but usually not.
Yeah. Well, do you get like the guys who kind of want to fight you, like at like a bar or like a restaurant, or?
It's less now.
Okay.
Like the older you get for sure, but definitely like, I mean, it's the same thing with comedy, right? Someone's like, oh, I got a joke for you, but I'm a pretty funny guy. It's like, I bet you are. Yes, thank you. But yeah, when guys, you know, I a lot less now, but when guys would be like, oh, but like in a street fight, I could take you. I'll like half make a joke and be like, look, man, if we're in a street fight, I'm kicking in the nuts. Like, unless it's a nut kicking contest, I got long legs and I kick better than you. That's it. Like, I'm not fighting fair. I will scream and scratch your face. Like, I don't got time for any of this.
No, exactly. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the throw things.
Yes.
You know, the Frankenstein method of self-defense. Like a brick. A chair. Like, I don't want to touch you. You know, you're trying to, you know, hurt me out here in the street.
Right. And here's the other thing. If someone comes at you and you take your pants off, 99% of guys won't want to fight you. It's either going to work out for you or it's going to be way, way worse. Depends on who you pick. So, you know, don't use it all the time.
This is genius.
Yeah.
It's a
free self-defense tip. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Especially if you just like have no underwear on, but like a jock strap, right? So your junk is out and you have like these two little things around.
There's no cup. I'm just excited.
No,
like this is, I've been waiting for this.
Full boner.
Yeah. Just why is it shaped like that?
Bing. Yeah, as soon as they look, you got it right there.
Distraction.
There you go.
Yes, all martial arts is deception. That's
and how did you get into this? Like, where did it start?
Well, like a lot of little kids watch Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. I'm like, that would be cool. And like boxing was, it's harder to get into boxing. Like you got to be near a gym and kind of know someone. And I never knew anybody. None of my family had ever done it.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I was in school in my first year. I had a small scholarship in music education.
Okay.
And I found an MMA gym that was close to the college. And I was like, well, no one can stop me. I'm living at the dorms. I'm just going to go do this.
Yeah.
And then I liked that better. And I just didn't go back to school.
Amazing.
So luckily it panned out, but kind of put all my eggs in one basket on that one.
That's wild. But I firmly believe in putting all the eggs in one basket. If it's what you're just like.
At a certain point, you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. The whole in doing what I do, be it an actor, be it a writer, be it a stand-up, it's like I couldn't study to be a lawyer at the same time. No. I couldn't. I was always doing other things to make money. Right. But it was like, this is the road here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, I bartended for years and then and waited tables for years. And the GM would be like, you ever think about being a manager? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I can never take that step.
Yeah. And I was like,
this is just money.
You've got skills. You're really good. And it's like, yeah, I'm saving that for something else.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to stay here. I see how miserable you are. Yeah. I would like to avoid that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, wow. You just had an aptitude for fighting, grappling.
No, I didn't.
No, none?
No, I was so bad. I was so bad. One of my original coaches, after my second fight, he was like, you got to tell that kid he shouldn't fight. Like he's so bad. Like one of my coaches let me put him in a guillotine, and basically it's just you wrap your arm around their neck, and they're in front of you. And he was like, all right, squeeze. And his voice didn't change. Nothing happened. He's like, I don't know what you're doing, but somehow you're squeezing my neck and not restricting air or blood flow. And I was like, great. This is pick the right thing. But eventually, you put in enough time, you work with enough high level guys. I was just one of those, kids at that point that I showed up all the time. And I was a human punching bag, but then they kept seeing me. They're like, okay, this kid's here stuff. And then I would get a little bit better and I get, one tool added to the tool belt and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, I'm going to help you do this. And, you show up enough. I had one guy, Nick Aguilar was a, real big part of my first getting into it and helping me. I was like, we lived farther from the gym and he was like, when it snowed too much, he was like, come over to the basement. I'll show you some stuff. And this is, a UFC vet. He'd been around fighting for a while and didn't owe me anything, but just helped me out. You know what I'm saying?
That's great.
Him and his brother Hank, another guy, Jamil Masu, a lot of early guys that really helped build my foundation that got me to where I am. And then that with nonstop work ethic to a degree that was probably unhealthy. that also helped.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you have to. That's just
yes.
I saw your clip where you're you teach too, right? You train guys?
I coach a lot of guys. So I'm still training myself, but then I teach a grappling class and I just, I'm a more senior guy at this point. I've been doing this since 2007.
Wow.
I've been in the UFC since 2016. I've got almost 60 pro fights, which is way too many.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Most MMA guys, they have 20 or 30 and that's a lot.
Yeah.
So
that's incredible, man.
Yeah. And I think, technically one was amateur and that was it.
Okay.
Also not smart. Don't do that.
Wow. See, the corollary I was drawing in my mind when you went in there and you were terrible, because I was a big guy in high school. The football coach was like, you be on the line, be a lineman. I played football for almost 2 weeks. I was the worst. Because my legs, I'm knock-kneed, so I get hit and my knee go out.
Everything buckles.
The worst. Yeah. So just and that made me think of when that guy said, oh, you squeeze. My voice isn't changing. The physical trainer, the second time my knee got hurt, he sat me down and goes, why are you playing football?
Is it? That's someone's hey, you're big, you should do this. You're like, I don't know, man. I don't really want to.
No, I think about, this is weird. I have a lot of weird knowledge in my head that is useless. But Goliath wasn't actually a Philistine. Supposedly he was an Ephraim, and Ephraims were absorbed when the Philistines beat them in battle. And so he basically was, by our measurements, he'd be 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
But he was more of a totem than anything.
Right.
That's like,
he was like blind. He had lots of problems. He couldn't see right.
Yeah. And he was just enormous. He was like, he was a mascot. They'd walk him in front of the army and people just drop their swords. Like, I'm not fighting that guy. He's enormous, But it's like, these Ephraim, they were just like these giant fun guys. So I think like me, Steve Agee, Pete Holmes, like we're all descended from those guys. You know? It's like, we're big. We're not scary.
Yeah,
the
basketball coach is like, hey, you want to hear some jokes? I can warm the guys up and practice for you. But like
John Candy, like that kind of, they're just big funny guys.
Yes. There's some guys like Kevin Spacey wrestled and did some stuff. Farley was known to like have done some acrobat but that's and there are guys that come from like somewhat of a sports background that are like kind of the funny guys, but there's my brother, like he's pursuing acting and stuff, and it's like I remember when we were kids, my mom's like, go show him how to like do sports stuff, and I'm like, I don't think he wants to he wants to draw, and like I tried, I'm like, we got to do this, Mom, like I think she's just worried you might be gay, and I know you're not. And even if you were, it's fine. But like, we're in the Midwest, and it's the early '90s, so like, just come with me. Yeah,
it's like a Billy Elliot situation.
Yeah, no,
but I want to dance into the boxing gym.
It's like let's do this to make them shut up.
Sure,
because I don't want to deal with this, and I know you definitely don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, so go fail, and then we'll get you back to drawing and then acting after that for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. As I got older, like, younger people, the options are there for all these kids. Whereas like, I remember seeing speaking to gay, and there's a movie called Mr. Holland's Opus that was they shot it at my high school, and I saw it in college, and I'm like, that's my high school, Grant High. And one of the last scenes of the movie, he's now, this old teacher at the school. It's like his life. And there's two young guys are walking by holding hands in their high schoolers. And I was like, man, like when I was in high school, no.
That would have been a big.
You did not.
Yeah.
You couldn't be openly gay.
No.
You'd get beat up or at the very least vilified. It was bad.
No, it is very much like the, what was like the 21 Jump Street sequel where they go back to go back to high school, and then all of a sudden it's like, what do you mean? Like, you can't call people gay? It's like, no, most kids now are like, they're very accepting.
Sure.
And like when people, because I've helped coach youth wrestling before, and work with some younger kids in like jiu-jitsu and MMA and stuff. Yeah. And every time when they're like, kids this, kids that, like, they're actually doing pretty well. Like, you look at any demographic, you can pick out the couple that really suck. Yeah. But like overall, like the kids are actually doing fine. They're like much more accepting and like, not uptight about stuff.
Yeah. And it's okay to be into, not as long as you're not harming anyone else, into whatever you're into. Yes. Where it'd be like, oh God, all you do is read comic books. That's fine. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And there's a thing for that now. Yeah. There's a thing for this, like you can be, they have much better writing in comic books now. You get into the art part of it. Like there's so many other avenues you can pursue and not be pigeonholed into like, you're going to be a doctor, a tradesman, or an athlete. Yeah. And this is your only option.
And I really love how they're kind of like how my generation was with like smoking. Yeah. I used to smoke when I was younger, and I was just like, I got to stop. I just, gave it up when in 2009. And they're like that with, the obvious ones like smoking, but they're like that with social media too. Oh yeah. Like they're hooked, but they're like, I hate it. Yes. I hate it. Yes. I hate that it exists.
And they're not on Facebook, which is good.
Yeah, that is good. That is good.
They're not that the other options are much better, but they're not Facebook, so that's fine. Yeah.
Oh God, the ruination of the old mind on Facebook is just it's people that just look at it and believe whatever's on there, and you're like, oh, grandma, no.
Yeah. It was like they didn't say that to you specifically. It popped up in your feed. Like he's not talking to just you.
No,
like, no, he said it to me. I'm like, okay, you're right. Yes. Yeah. No, I know Donald Trump really wants his message specifically in your brain. Yeah, that's true.
For you, Gary.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you and you live in a small town in Wisconsin.
Yeah, we're outside of Milwaukee. It's we're right by the high school and the elementary school, and there's like a little custard shop there.
Yeah.
So like it is very small town as I like, and it's closer to the sticks and stuff. So
That's great. And how old? You have one kid?
Yep, one 4-year-old boy who
my
looks
God.
to
Awesome.
It's so fun. He
It's the
destroys everything. Yeah. It's just
really funny comedy writer Laura Solon nailed it, where she's like, little girls make rules, little boys break things.
yes.
You know? And it's like, because like my daughter's 5 and she would come in here and be like, okay, here's what's going to happen.
This is how it's going.
She'd come up to you and just start talking like your old pals, and she'd be like, you should sit over there, kind of thing. Like, and you're just like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You know,
so here's your teacup.
Yeah. My daughter's really fun to bring to like parties where they're cool having kids over, because she'll just leave me and just be talking to strangers and just have them do shit, you know?
That's awesome.
She found this group of young gay dudes that were kind of queening out and stuff. And she's like, oh, you guys are rock and roll boys. And they're like, we're rock and roll boys. And she goes, you with me. You know, like a FBI guy does with like cops. On me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Put your shades on. Escort me through the dining hall.
Yeah, it was pretty much like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, 4, man. 4 is a fun age. That's great.
They're starting to get their personality.
Yeah.
And they like, it's interesting. I moved to Florida for a brief period for training, and I can tell that's like when my son kind of came online, because that's his first memories are there. But we had lived out somewhere else in Wisconsin before that, but he doesn't remember any of that.
Sure,
he just remembers Florida.
Okay.
So it's interesting. It was like, 2, 3, they're starting to, like, I don't know how long he'll keep those memories.
Right.
But now he's like, he thinks that he's from Florida.
That's funny.
Yeah. And I'm like, you can think that, just don't act like it, please.
Please don't. Yeah. Does he understand what you do?
Kinda. He likes to tell all his friends at school that his daddy smashes people. So I guess a little bit.
Pretty badass.
Like, just walks up like, my daddy smashes, and I'm like, please, like, stop saying that. It's like,
yeah. You're just, you're like, if you say that when I'm not around, it's gonna sound like I told you that. Yeah. I didn't tell you that.
Yeah. No. Well, like, I've taken him to the gym before, and then he was like, with my wife Carrie Ellen, was like, well, his daddy's got to go train. He's got to go, and then he sees me, and he's like, oh, daddy smash.
Sure.
And then he's watched some of my fights, and that's what he'll say. So now that's what
he's seen your fights.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think he remember. Well, it was on TV, not not in person. I wouldn't bring him to one of those.
Yeah. I don't think. Can you? I don't think you can.
Oh, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can.
Wow.
Some guys have done it. If you want to do that, they put, like, especially the young ones, they put the headphones on them.
Yeah. Okay.
But I wouldn't. For me personally, that would be a little bit much. But I know some guys love it.
Wow.
Some people want their whole crew coming with. They want their fan. And I'm like, everyone's like, oh, can I do, like, do you want me there? I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to be in my underwear fighting for my life. Like,
yeah.
What's happening outside of the cage?
I have I can't.
No, I might hear a scream once in a while, but that's about it.
Yeah. Oh God. And 60 fights. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, what? I imagine that's probably, do you get pretty zen when you go in there?
So that's not at first.
Okay.
I shouldn't say it's gotten better. You learn to deal with it differently.
Okay.
But like, there's this somewhat well-known Thai fighter, if you're into Muay Thai, Kong Napa, that came over, and he's got even more fights. Those guys, they'll start fighting when they're like 8.
Yeah. So
he's got like when they asked, he's got like 200 fights or something like that.
Good Lord.
But it's like, someone even asked him, was like, you still get scared? He's like, oh, scared every time. It's you never, every time I'm scared, it's gotten, like I said, it's gotten better. You deal with it better, but it's like, I have visceral physical reactions.
Sure.
And it's not that getting into a fight is like something I'm not okay with, obviously.
Right.
But it's the knowing that it's coming.
Yeah.
Because if something happens to you and you got to flip the switch, you got to flip the switch.
Mm-hmm.
But you know exactly when it's going to happen. And no matter how you feel, they're going to close that door.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is you have an option to just lay over and give up.
Yeah.
But now everyone's going to see that, and that's going to be like part of you now.
Yeah.
So you have to fight all those urges. And I would get I get severe cotton mouth, like my tongue would dry out. Because your body's sucking all the water to your organs and your muscles, because they're like, well, we might die.
Yeah,
so
pure fight or flight.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Which is like the most ridiculous adrenaline high that you could possibly imagine, which is probably why I keep doing it.
I imagine, yeah.
It's better than crack. So
sure, it's got to be.
Stick with this.
Well, I mean, that's like me with live performance. Yeah. There are times where I'm like, I don't want to do it tonight, but every time I do, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
That I learned something. You know, even if I ate it for part of my set or whatever, you come back and you go, okay, I learned to do this, that, and the other. I mean, it's like I think of Henry Fonda into, you know, doing stage acting in movies into like his 80s. He threw up every time.
Yeah.
He threw up before the curtain went up. He went barf, come back out on the stage. Martha Plimpton, she does these big productions and on Broadway and stuff. And she was like they were like, do you ever just still get stage fright? She goes, pitch black despair in my heart.
Yes.
Every single time. And you're like, why? But you're like, that's part of the rush.
That's part of it. And then you hit that flow state when you're in the groove in the pocket. It's so good. Mm-hmm. But that's why. And like, you know, I go to the gym like almost every day. I go there like, and I'll fight someone there and it's not a big deal. And like, I won't, you know, it'll be whatever. But like with the crowd, it's so much different. And the other trade-off is I got to be a little careful because, if I have a bad set, I might get CTE. So
yeah,
you know, there's a little more physical risk.
Yeah.
And I'll like be depressed and hate myself. But that's
sure.
You know.
Well, and I used to have this a bias that a lot of people had when UFC came on the scene and stuff. I was like, oh, this is barbaric. It's like I'm more of a boxing guy, you know. But then I realized, no, actually, boxing's way worse because it's all headshots and it's a CTE factory.
Yes.
Whereas with UFC and MMA at large, you know, it's a lot of grappling, a lot of, you know, holds.
There can be a lot of dangerous fights for sure, but generally speaking, it's more superficial damage, like scarring and cuts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You definitely still take some shots, and that's the thing is like you get a knee or you get kicked, and there's no padding there.
Yeah,
there's no way that's good. But to your point, boxing with the big gloves, it allows you to take more shots to the head before you go down. And you're more comfortable throwing more shots over a longer period of time because they have, you know, you don't take a 12-round fight right away.
Yeah.
But if you get to that point, you had to go through the amateurs. If you had to go through the amateurs and you did it right, you got at least 100, if not 300 fights.
Crazy.
And then you went to the Olympics and you did multiple fight tournaments every day. And then you got to the pros. And then you worked your way up and have like 20 fights before you fight anybody that's close to your skill level.
Good Lord.
And now you're doing 10, 12 round fights where it's like you've got, you know, 30 minutes of just punching dudes in the head.
Yeah. Like
even if you're a master defensive fighter, the little concussive shots still add up. So it's like,
of course.
Are either of them good? No. Like we know what we signed up for, but you know, I would wager to guess that boxing, at least for head trauma, is, of course, I'm very biased, but I would think it's a little bit worse.
Yeah.
But you know, at least in MMA, you have the option, and in boxing, you'll get like you can have a 3 knockdown rule, or you get saved because you get dropped. You get at least a standing 8, if not, you know, a count to 10.
Yeah.
If I get dropped, a dude jumps on me, and if I don't get up, it's done. It's like you don't get to recover. Like you know, some refs will let you get away with more than others, but there's no. Like, give him a break and let him, like...
Yeah, back up.
See if you can knock him out again.
Yeah. So. That's really good point. Yeah. Man. The accurate, like, the stats you just reeled off for what it takes to get into the pros as a boxer just, like, made my head spin. Like, that's wild.
I'm a nerd with the fighting stuff.
It's great, though.
For sure, yeah.
It's great, though. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating. It's like when there's a really good fight, it's like, it's kind of the greatest show on earth.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell us. Lomachenko is probably one of the most technical guys to be out in a long time. There's other guys too that are really good, but just as far as like output, variety of skills, the footwork. His dad making him do Ukrainian dance for years before he allowed him to box.
Wow.
And that made it. He cuts these really sharp angles. He like shifts from one stance to the other really effortlessly. There's other guys that do this too, but just the way he moves at that small weight class. Or the small weight classes that he's been in, it's like, you know, it's like watching poetry. But he had 300 amateur fights.
Wow.
And then you have a system like internationally where you go to these tournaments and you can qualify for nationals, and then you can qualify for the Olympics. So you have to fight, the best of the best guys that are doing this, like, with wrestling in freestyle or college. Like college, you would, you get to a school, you like win enough in high school, you get to a school, you can compete, get a spot. And then there's like different divisions, like D1, 2, 3, and the best guys compete against the best. And then if you want to go do freestyle, you can try out for the American team. So there's different ways for these other combat sports. MMA is still kind of weird. Like if you just want to do it yourself, there's no real way to get there. Like there's no pipeline, so to speak.
Really?
Yeah. So, but like you would hopefully get a manager or get a coach that'll look out for you. You have some amateur fights, and then you would get, you would try to pick the right opponents that are a little bit easier, but rack up, 5 to 7-0 record if you could. And then you would try to get on like LFA would be a show, CFFC, Fury FC, and then get on Contender Series, and then get to the UFC or another big show if you want to go somewhere else. But it's a little bit, there's no like, oh, if you go to this place, you just work your way up.
Sure.
And you have to fight those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no like the Harvard school of kicking ass kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just you graduate there.
Yeah, much more like, comedy or music or something else in that sense. Where like there's no like, if you know some people and you can get in front of the right people and you're ready,
absolutely,
you'll get it. But it's not like, oh, you go to a spot at this little bar at open mic, and then if you do good, you automatically work your way up. Like you're not guaranteed a shot anywhere.
No, and there's, I think, I want to say, I don't remember the name, but there's a documentary about guys in like, I think Sacramento that are just beating the hell out of each other, but they're not going anywhere. Yeah. They don't really have the whatever it is to get to the next level, but they just keep taking these fights where it's just like, you're just killing yourself. And it's kind of like, I'll see some of these comics, like, there's always a guy that's like the guy in the local scene who's like maybe my age, maybe a little older. And he's like, he kind of still sees himself as the big fish. And like, when he comes around, and so I'll talk to some of these younger guys, not that the guys my age who are still there are all like that, but like, he like never left this town, and you can't, now you don't have to go. There's no rule. You don't have to go to LA or New York or even Chicago. You can just get found because of the internet. But these young guys are kind of, really fun, really funny, really cool to just hang out and have a beer with. And then this guy will show up and he's kind of expecting you to kind of like know him or something. Oh, yeah. And he's like, me and you should go hang. Let's get rid of these. And I'm kind of like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere with you, dude. Yeah. Let's just keep it a group. You can hang.
We're the big dogs, right? Like, how it is. We are not anything.
Oh, dude. There was a guy back in Chicago that was like, saw himself as kind of like a Bill Hicks type, smoked cigarettes and like, on stage, and was like, saw himself as like a George Carlin type. Like, gotcha. I'm giving you the truth. And there's this open mic we all did on Mondays. You just sign up and it'd be like 60 comics. It was just really, really like formative for me and Kyle Kinane and Kumail Nanjiani and Pete Holmes and Hannibal Buress and all the people that came out of that scene. We all did that mic. Yeah. Because you only got 5 minutes and we're all trying to do like new stuff. And one night, oh my God, I'm blanking. Doug Stanhope shows up. And we're just like, oh my God, it's really him. Yeah. We're geeking out because to us, that's like James Brown, like Elvis. No, it is. And Doug is the nicest guy in the world. Like anytime he sees you, and he knows you're a comic, he's like, how you been? You holding up all right? Buy you a drink. Like really nice, no ego really on that guy. And so this dude, the Bill Hicks thinking is type, pulls Doug aside and is like, me and you know what the deal is. None of these idiots understand. And he's like, totally, man. Yeah. Like kind of shining him on. Going, oh, yeah. And he goes, what is your name, man? And he tells him, and he gets on stage. He's like, hey, you guys know this fucking idiot? And he said his name, and we're all in the room like, oh no, dude.
That's awesome.
He just threw him right under a bus. Because he's just like, I don't like you, and I'm going to tell this whole room I don't like you because I know they don't like you.
Yeah, just like, oh yeah, we're totally cool. Tell me how you hate everyone.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was like, oh, you just tore him a new one, And it was so great.
It's like you saw Dad come home and the older brother was acting up and just like, oh, he's about to get whooped. The belt has come off.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But like, what were your parents like growing up?
So my dad was he was a journeyman electrician for a long time.
Okay.
And then I saw him like work his way up. He went and got his master's degree, and now he's a inspector and he's got all his qualifications. And my mom, I live with my dad, my stepmom. My ma, she, for a long time, well, a little bit, she was a homemaker. The most we ever lived anywhere in one spot, we lived on a horse farm.
Okay.
So she was like the barn manager, which basically meant she had to take care of everything. And we also then became farm workers because that's kind of how it worked. It was more than a one-person job, and they didn't hire anyone else. So it was like it was such an interesting upbringing because I lived on this horse farm out in the sticks, and I went to school in the middle of the hood at like an alternative charter school where it was like all the kids that were like different or got bullied or something.
Okay.
And like we called our teachers by their first name, and it was like way more progressive, especially for that time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was a very but this school was on 10th and Center in Racine. It's not there anymore. They've since demolished it.
Okay.
But it was like down the road from the Martin Luther King Center.
Okay.
And if anyone lives near Martin Luther King Center, they know it's not usually the best part of town.
Sure, yeah.
Like we had a corner store right across the street with bars on the windows. And I remember some guy got a shotgun pulled on him while he walked in with a ski mask on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This is before
it's cold.
Yeah, well, this is before the shiesties were a thing. And he was like, and I'm only saying it like this because this is how he said it. He's like, my friend, take off the mask. Take off the mask. Take off the fucking mask. And he was like, my bad, dog. And I was just like, I almost saw someone die.
Wow.
Yeah, it was intense. A guy tried to sell me a fake, I don't know if it was fake or real or what it was, but he tried to sell me a porn CD. Okay. And I was like, dude, I'm like 12. Why are you? He's like, come on, man, $20, man. You want? I was like, no. Like, I don't.
No thanks.
This definitely isn't real.
Yeah.
And B, like, if you want money for drugs, just say that at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was interesting. It was that I would help work on the farm, and then I would go to school there. Okay. And then come home. So it was, but that's where I got a lot of my work ethic from is, especially in the summer, we would get these wagons full of hay for the horses. So it was a equestrian. It was a rich person horse farm. Okay. So everybody that boarded horses there was like a doctor, a lawyer, whatever.
Oh, I see.
And I'm not making this up. We lived on a house connected to the barn. The owners lived on a big house up on the hill. One of the owners was named Bruno, who was an immigrant from Germany. Okay. And he owned a company called Racine Flame Spray. I am not making
Wow.
Yeah. It was like two on the looking back. I'm like, when did he come over here? Was it like before or after 1945? Like what was the
should look into that.
Yeah. I think he was all right. But yeah, looking back, it was interesting. But we get these, you get wagons full of hay. And someone's got to be in the wagon to throw it to the ground. Mm-hmm. Someone's got to load it on the conveyor belt to go up to the hay barn. And then someone's got to be there to load it on a dolly. And then you got to dolly it to another person who's either going to stack it or put it on another conveyor belt to stack it up higher in the hayloft. Wow. And we could only do this in the summer because that was harvest season. Okay, yeah. And there was no air conditioning. It was hot. Oof. I would be spitting up and sneezing out black gunk because I was at first allergic, which changed after exposure. But it was like years of this where in the summer it was like my dad, my brother, me, my ma, and then like maybe a couple other random people. And there was no shifts. There was no like, we're starting this wagon and we're not done until this is finished. Okay. So if we got 1,000 bales of hay, each of us are touching 1,000 bales of hay at least once. Yeah. And that just is what it is. And this was from... we moved in there the summer right before I went into 6th grade, all until after I graduated. So it was like, from a time I was just old enough to start actually helping, there was like 4 to 6 hours in the summer. It was 90 degrees, blaring hot. Like, we're going to have to do this. Yeah. And it was only on the nice days. It wasn't the rainy days. So it was like, I did that. And then when I would do these MMA practices, it's like, I've been here before. Sure. I've sweat like this. Like this isn't that new. The getting punched in the face is new. Sure. But everything else is about the same. Yeah. I'd imagine. I mean, it's and all that. It's almost like it was your first kettlebells. Pretty much. Was the hay bales. Yeah. It's still like hanging weight, I'd imagine. Yes. The regular hay was a little bit lighter, maybe 30, 40 pounds, but we get the alfalfa, which is like the longer more expensive grass bales of hay. They could, if they were wet, they could be 50 to 70 pounds.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? So it was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've kind of a perfect fighter origin story.
Yeah. And then of course I was good at grappling because, like, you know, obviously if you look at my face, I'm not going to be super athletic, but you got that farm strength. So,
okay. There you go. Yeah. And like, MMA is like, I feel like grappling is the core. Grappling is like,
it certainly has its origins, and like the UFC started because, like, you know, the Gracies and the people that founded jiu-jitsu, they really wanted to showcase it. Yeah. So it like has its roots there. Mm-hmm. It's definitely gone more towards the entertainment and like striking area. Sure. But the thing about it is, like, if you're like, you know, all my wins in the UFC are finishes. So you can still be an exciting fighter and be grapple heavy, or like, you know, that's the thing. Some guys have natural power, some guys are naturally fast. Yeah. But if you like aren't as good on the feet, or you don't have that like Mike Tyson touch of death, sure, anyone can learn how to choke someone unconscious. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like you figure out where your bread is buttered, and you kind of go there. And then as long as you're giving the fans what they want, they're cool with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you've seen Warrior, the movie? Yes. About the brothers?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. A buddy of mine made the mistake of watching that, and he grew up in like a Greco-Roman wrestling family. Okay. Yeah. And he saw it. He has 3 brothers, I think. He saw it hung over in a movie theater and just cried. Because it's such a dude tearjerker, that movie, you know?
No, I can see, especially, if you have brothers that were coming up wrestling with you, that would be, that would hit a little bit different.
That last scene where they're fighting, he's just like, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. You can let go. And he's like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. You know? Yeah, I love that movie. When I turned 42, we went to like wine country, rented a house and stuff, and like we're just loaded and just like, put on Warrior.
Warrior was a good one. Well, they had, what was the other one? Never Back Down. That was the cheesy one. Yes. Where I watched that and I was like, this is like a caricature of a caricature of a movie.
My God. Like that the villain is like this rich kid, and he's in a big mansion, and he's like, you want to put the gloves on?
Dude, and people would for years after this movie, people would send me the fight scene when they're like having a square of people, or like surrounding a crowd surrounding him. Yeah, no. And he does like the capoeira kick, and I was like, oh, did you see this fight? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you think we have fights where people like, everyone stand around fighting.
Wall of people.
Yeah, don't worry about getting kicked in the face. So safe. If they come towards you, just shove them back in. Like, no, I fought on that show before. Really? Yes. Like, what?
No. It would be, you would get like the back of someone's skull to your mouth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like a guy would be like, and it just
so many lawsuits. So many lawsuits. And this is coming. I fought way before there was like a governing body in Wisconsin. Yeah. Like my first at least 10 fights, there was no commission. And so we could do a lot more stuff. Like now, so the UFC, you can elbow anywhere. You can't knee the head of a downed opponent. You can't kick the head of a downed opponent. But when I started, you could technically headbutt. You could kick the head of a downed opponent. You could knee the head of a downed opponent. You could stomp on them. Yeah. It was, and there was no...
I mean, I saw that back in the day. I was in college when the No Rules one came on the scene, and that guy's just burying punches in that guy's ball sack.
Oh, that was, I think it was Keith Hackney, he's a Chicago guy. Yeah. Just drops his stance and freaking katas that dude's nuts like a speed bag. That was amazing.
Yeah. And what else? Someone... they just had to, it'd be like a guy this big against a guy this small. Yeah. And I'm like, this is not.
They had Tank Abbott.
Yes.
And his big thing was like 500-pound jackhammers. He would bench 500 pounds. Wow. And he looked like the classic ballroom brawler. 100%. Bald dude, long goatee, but he hit real hard. Big beer gut, and then would put him against like a 170-pound taekwondo guy. Yeah. And he would just knock him out. Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah. And he was like, my style is bar can do. Yeah. That was his thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's so funny that I'm talking to you about that. Cause like, I'm like, who remembers that guy? And like, you went like, Ken Shamrock.
Yes. Both of Ken Shamrock and his brother Frank, who was briefly in the UFC even before that, was like one of the first guys to do like leg locks.
Oh,
and then Ken Shamrock, he was one of the few that was crossover between that and at the time would have been WWF.
Okay.
And I forget what was like World's Most Dangerous Man or something, because he had done at that time they called it no holds barred fighting.
Yeah.
And was like back and forth between both of them. So he'd wear like the gloves and his WWF stuff and be like, yeah, I'm a real whatever, and then go do that also.
That's wild. That's like, that's kind of unheard of. Like nobody does the fake stuff.
No. Well, it's like Lesnar came over.
Oh, right.
And then my buddy CM Punk, who's of course from Chicago.
Yeah.
He did both.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a lot less common now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I would just stay in pro wrestling. I'd just stay with the fake one. It'd be so fun.
Yeah. I don't know that one. It's like you see what those guys go through. It's like it's just as hard on your body. It's just in a different way.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like people are like, it's fake. It's like, you can't fake jumping off a ladder 40 feet onto a table. Like, I don't care if it's made to break. Like, that doesn't, like, all those dudes have like, cervical spine surgeries.
Yeah,
their backs are fused. Their knees are messed up. Like,
like Foley with his number of injuries,
that's
and stuff he's gone through.
Yeah.
It's just like, because he was always the one that was like, oh yeah, I'll do the craziest thing.
Yeah.
Just put me through a flaming table covered in thumbtacks and I'm in.
Yeah.
And you get up and have all these thumbtacks over. You're like, why?
Yeah.
It's
no, like that's awesome, but Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then, those kids would do like backyard wrestling and stuff, and there are all these injuries. Did you used to do those?
Just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we used like a trampoline. We were much more tame than some of the real crazy ones.
Okay.
Was it like you probably still find some of them on YouTube now, but like, if you can count on one hand the number of teeth, there's someone's going to the hospital.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
that's
we were a little more tame of like, let's try to actually do the move without dying.
Yeah.
That was kind of,
I saw that. I was like, what happened to just drinking in the park or getting someone pregnant, guys? Do you have to?
Yeah. Well, this was just, would say that's the thing. I did it before that was an option.
Oh, okay.
I transitioned quickly after that, but
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
What? So, and, you're okay. So you're training, you're coaching. What do you think is the window? How much longer do you think you'll stay fighting yourself?
If I can,
and if you don't want to answer that, that's okay.
Oh, no, it's fine. If I can make it 2 more years and I'm doing well enough, like obviously you got to win enough. Stuff for me hasn't been going great lately, but I'm working on things to fix that. And knock on wood, no major injuries yet somehow. Like I've had stitches, but from this, no broken bones, no torn ligaments. I think one of my shoulders probably got like a little tear in there somewhere, but like nothing that stops me from doing anything. Like,
wow.
My knees are fine somehow.
Great.
Like normal aches and pains, but like,
sure.
So hopefully, I got 2 more fights left in the current contract, 2 or 3. And if those go well, see how I feel. I'd like to have the option to retire from the UFC when I want to.
Sure.
But either way, even if I feel great and I'm killing it, if I'm 40, I'm like, maybe I should do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've already got an affiliate gym in Green Bay, GM3's MMA Institute that opened. So that's a good place for people to check out.
Nice.
Another good buddy of mine, Anthony Pettis, who was a very famous fighter, former UFC, WEC champ.
Okay.
His Jim Pettis MMA is going to be part of my grappling association.
Okay.
So I'm kind of putting stuff on that right now to like get the ball rolling, and then eventually have my own gym and like affiliates if I can and stuff like that. So hopefully like pass on the knowledge and hopefully deter some young men to do something else. And
sure.
like maybe not do this.
Or at least be good at it if you're going to do it.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, let's do it the right way. And then, keep your brain mostly intact when you're done.
Yeah. And I imagine people will like work out and learn the skills and would never have any intention of going pro.
That's
just come
most people. Yeah.
Okay.
No, and I love teaching everybody. I love figuring out a way to word something and seeing them where it's like, oh, this makes sense now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And giving someone that confidence, like, is it self-defense? Yes, you can use it for self-defense, but really just like mastery over your own body and the ability to like do something hard in a safe environment with another person to like overcome physical conflict is like, it's a good thing now, but we don't ever have to do that anymore.
Sure.
Like realistically, like I've never had a fight outside the UFC.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I never get into conflict. Like it's really easy to avoid.
Sure.
So it's good to go somewhere where it's controlled and like, oh, okay, if something happens, I'm all right. And then you get the endorphins from that. And like Some people like running. Some people like choking each other with their friends.
Sure.
It's in a non-sexual way.
Right. Sure.
Well, either way is fine, but that's the one I'm doing.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we had very funny lesbian comic on here who was like she went to work out at those gyms and she's like, oh, I did that move last night with my girlfriend and that one was so minute.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what are we doing right now?
Yeah. What are there any like pet peeves you have about people's perceptions of what it is to do MMA or be a fighter or anything?
Not really. There's like, you do something for so long. There's like little stuff that annoys you. Like I'll get a lot of like, oh, you can make money doing that? You can make a living doing that? It's like, yes.
Right.
Like, and usually I'm not like, I never want to toot my own horn or like be like, oh, I do so well. Cause like there's guys that are wildly more successful than me. And then there's guys that,
sure,
they never get their shot, even if they do deserve it. So I'm very fortunate to be where I am. I definitely worked hard for it, but to say that, it was 100% me is a lie because I had a lot of help.
Sure. Yeah.
But like when I hear that, some guys will be like, I've had words like, oh, you make enough doing that? It's like, probably more than you, but thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Or then they're like, what are you going to do after that? It's like, you're right. I developed all these skills, did something that's really, really hard, but I'm not going to be able to transfer that to anything else.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes it comes from a place of like, oh, I saw the 30 for 30 on whoever that was bad with their money and their life. When it's like, if it comes from that kind of place, you can kind of tell. Yeah. It's like, oh, like I get it. But like, no, I'll be okay. But yeah, when sometimes guys will try to like big dog, you be like, oh, I didn't know you could make a living doing that. I'm like, I didn't know you were such a little bitch.
And I mean, it's you're still kind of a journeyman, I think, where it's like, they're always, I think the worst example are those athletes who, they sign a big football or baseball contract or something like that. And they're just like, 100 millionaires overnight kind of thing. And
it's a lot for a young man.
They blow it. Yeah. It's like when you're in your early 20s to have that kind of money, that's toxic.
Yes.
I would be on all the drugs.
I
would be sleeping with all the wrong people. And like, I had, this woman who worked for my business manager. She's like, I love working for comics. I love managing the money of comics and writers because you guys are all so fun and normal, and you don't. She's like, I should explain. I used to work for a money management company that only did pro athletes, and I'm like, what's that like? She's like, well, getting a phone call at 3 a.m. because someone wants to buy a Ferrari in Vegas. 3 a.m. They wanted to, he's loaded and he wants them to,
I need this now.
Open the Lamborghini dealership.
Yeah. I'm buying the bar. Ferrari. We're all getting bottles. Yeah. Like open the accounts.
Because so many of them come from humble, upbringing, and they're like, now's my time to ball out.
Yes.
And get all the jewelry, the cars and all that stuff. And it's like, it's really easy to spend money. You can blow money really easy.
Surprisingly easy. I don't know if you guys have looked at the price of houses lately.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm very thankful. Like, would it have been cool to like be undefeated and be a champ right away? Absolutely, yes.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm glad I got to see a lot of guys go before me and work with guys that were my senior that like had the success.
Okay.
And I got to see how they moved and how they did things and the right things to do and the wrong things to do, and just have a good perspective on like who I should be talking to, how I should be spending my money. And luckily for me, like I don't need a lot. Like I'm definitely one of those guys where like if I wasn't married and had a kid, I would have a beanbag and a TV and a bed. Like it would be sad.
Yeah.
It would look terrible, but I'd be like, no, this is like everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
So
no, yeah. Before I moved in with my now wife, when we started living together, I had this apartment that I was in for 6 years that was in this area called Frogtown, which now is like much more hip and stuff, but it was just like, I was like, it's all I need. I know the carpet looks like shit, and that the AC doesn't work that great, but I got a nice little view of this little valley, and I got a place to park my car, and I don't know, I have to drive to the laundromat. I don't have a washer dryer, but this is fine. And then like after the 5th year, my wife was just like, what do you gotta leave this fucking place. This sucks, dude. We can't be here anymore. We got to go somewhere else. It's like, what do you mean? The gunshots go over the house every time. It's fine.
Everything is fine.
It's fine. Yes, my place is a duplex with the landlord's And his wife comes over with her hand out for the check every month. Yeah, sure, that's fine. It's like, I shouldn't live like this. This is insane.
No.
Yeah.
No, I've been in some sketchy areas before.
Yeah.
We had a fighter house at one point. It was cool though, because like it was definitely a crack house across the street from us.
Sure.
But there was like, they knew like, oh, you guys are fighters? Like, yeah, like, all right, cool. And it's like, we'll be cool over here, you be cool over there, like respect.
Sure, yeah.
And they had their parties, we had our parties, and like I was like, that was great. It's like, just don't walk that way when it's dark.
Yeah.
And everyone wins.
If you have that little arrangement, I knew a guy, a friend of a friend, who had a bar on the west side of Chicago. And the first thing he did was reach out to the two warring gangs in the neighborhood and was like, your leaders and your buddies drink for free.
Nice.
Just no business is conducted.
This is Switzerland.
On this.
Yeah. We're neutral.
And they're like, cool.
Nice.
Nothing ever went down. You know what I mean? They shoot each other outside, or like a block away or whatever.
Hey, guys. We have outside.
Before you pull that out, and I pull out mine, let's go one more block over. Yeah, and there's a comic, I'm blanking on his name, but he's like Southern guy, lives in New York. And he's got he looks like a fighter. He's like kind of a big, bulky guy. His clips go huge.
With the mustache?
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, real funny dude.
Guy.
We met backstage. I'm blanking on his goddamn name, but we met backstage, and he's definitely got that comic thing where he's like, was that joke good? Is that whatever? And I didn't even know him. And I'm like, well, let me just tell you, first off, you're a dazzlingly handsome man. And he's like, that means a lot. He shook my hand. It was just like I just caught him so off guard.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and he lives in like a bad neighborhood in, I want to say maybe like Brownsville or something like that. Oh yeah,
nice.
But he lives in a building where there's a guy who's an actual real life pimp, and then there's a guy that sells drugs and whatever. And he's like, they don't bother me. He's like, I think they think I'm a cop. And I'm like, oh yeah. You got the look.
You think?
They just assume he's a cop that works the neighborhood, so he has to live there. You know?
No.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. I don't even have the accent, but I like.
I think people would, if when you're like, oh, I'm a fighter, okay, but otherwise they'd probably think you were like a cop or a fireman. You got that look.
A lot of people come up to me and call me brother with the hard R. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of like, yeah, easy, relax. Yeah. Like, it's like, we're cool, but like, yeah. I got a lot of people that look different that are close to me in my life.
Yeah, I'm not going to your meeting where you're lighting a cross on fire in a field.
It's like, I don't have any cans of kerosene at home. Like, thank you, Cletus, but it's a little bit different on this side.
I just Kyle Kinane's a bit about the do you think a Klansman ever like has a little bit of ethnic food on his robe and he forgot it's there when he shows up to the thing? And he's like, Dale, is that guacamole? It's freedom sauce.
It's tikka masala. What did you just say? It's ketchup.
Ketchup from All-American Hot Dog. Yeah. White person, German hot dog. Yeah.
It's been very unique for me to see all the happenings in the news going on.
Yes.
Especially because one of my brothers has this thing where he only has babies with women who use tortillas for every meal.
Okay, sure.
So,
there you go.
Yeah, everyone expects
how many of these women has he?
Just two. So okay, yeah,
okay,
which is good. Settled on a very nice young woman.
That's great. I'd imagine though, like there's got to be a huge contingent of like UFC fans that are.
Oh yeah, everyone with fighting is universal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like but it's interesting. Like a lot of the fighters that look like me, you would expect a lot of them to have a certain point of view, and most of them don't. Some of them do, but like most of us are pretty. It's like everyone fights.
Yeah.
Like everyone, we're all cool, and for sure, 100% of the time, all do like the jokey racism with each other in the gym. Yeah, and like trust me, the foreigners are way worse than us.
Sure,
like 100%.
Yeah,
which makes it funnier. But the point being, like, most like you can't work out at an MMA gym and not like have people that are from all over the world.
Absolutely.
Like we've got, one of my good buddies, Bilal, he's Palestinian. He grew up here, but he's like fully Palestinian.
Yeah.
We got a lot of guys from Kyrgyzstan that come to the gym.
Yeah.
One of my buddies, Nacho, is from Chile, and he brings a lot of his family over. We got a lot of Mexican guys, Yair Rodriguez, that are at the gym. Like it's always one of my guys I've trained for a long time with, Sadiq, he's from Burkina Faso. Like,
wow.
There's no shortage of different people.
And
like whatever corner of the world you want to throw a dart at, we're going to have someone from close to there.
Absolutely.
So it's like, there's no like, oh, this guy, like, you know, there are people that you don't like, but as far as all that goes, like,
yeah,
I'm cool with everybody.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I'd imagine training with the best of the best in the world.
Yeah,
it just makes you much more of a citizen of the world. Much more of just you're open to all these different perspectives.
You notice patterns and like stuff that different areas are always good at, but it's like, you don't get better unless you work with everybody, and everyone's got something to offer. So it's like, why would you? And then you try to beat each other up. It's really hard to be a dick to each other after that.
Sure.
It's like, yeah, you punched me in the face really good, but I kicked you in the head. Like, it's like, you know, and it's all love after that. And that's, you know, the old trope, right? Once two guys fight, they're best friends. Like, most of the time it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I knew a guy who's did MMA, and it was like, he's like, I went out drinking the night before we fought. We both hung out. You know, and like, well, tomorrow I'm gonna try to kill you.
You're an all right guy, but 24 hours, I'm gonna punch you square in the mouth.
Crazy, man. But that's the way it should be.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Not this kind of fake rivalry or something. Before you go, is there anything you want to plug or share or talk about? Or
not really. Yeah, just check out, if you're in the Green Bay area, GM3's MMA Institute. Pettis Martial Arts will be another affiliate of the grappling system. You know, watch out for my fights. Look at my social media. I try not to post too much, so if there's not a lot, I apologize.
No, it's good though.
Yeah.
I like your social media, because it's like that thing you were talking about, how the legwork is so goddamn boring. He's like, do it anyway.
Yes. Yes.
That was great. I was like, it kind of gives me motivation to. It's like, my daughter is over 50 pounds, and she's like solid, like really strong kid, and so I'm lifting her, and I'm like, I gotta up my weights, because this kid is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know?
Because you're gonna have to swing her around, and like you throw something out, it's like,
yeah, exactly.
There's 2 weeks where I can't sleep on my side.
I've got this finite time of having a portable child.
Yeah,
there's gonna become time where she's like, don't pick me up, man.
Yeah, no, like half the training at this point is just so when my son jumps on my neck and starts yanking my head around, I can still walk next.
No, my daughter gave me this super hug, and I felt my neck crack. I was just like, holy shit, you know, I've been squeezed softer by grown men in anger.
Where's this grip strength coming from?
What great. Her mom, for sure. Her mom's an athlete. Well, thanks for coming on the show, man. This is really fun. Absolutely.
Awesome.